We are already halfway through the NFL season, and so many teams have their eyes set on 2026 for the NFL draft. Today, we have a full 2026 NFL mock draft. Brandon, welcome to the show. Sir, introduce yourself.
I appreciate you guys having me. Cade and Metro, honored to be here. I'm a player turned scout. I know football better than most, and I'm about to show why. I'm about to show you why.
I absolutely love it. Metro, say hi, and we'll get going.
100%. I'm excited to be here. Excited to have B. Ross with us. Excited to have Cade, of course, with us per usual. Let's hop into this mock draft, man. So we changed up the order to better reflect what the actual season is going to look like. So if you disagree or agree, you can roast us in the comment section below. But PFF hasn't updated their order, so we're going to do it for them. Tennessee's on the clock. B. Ross, I'll let you take the first overall pick. You're going to take the odds. I'm going to take the evens. And Cade will be our special counselor, you could say.
Correct. Take it away, B. Ross.
Oh, with the first pick, they have to go O-line, right?
No question. I'm thinking a center.
Center? No, you
Like
never
take a
take
center
a center
first overall.
first overall. You take a center first overall, fire everybody. All right?
Go crazy.
I'm
dude.
going to take, this is high for him.
Yeah, it's not a great class.
It's really not a great class at tackle. But
Ruben
he's
Bain.
there. But he's the, I could go best player and say screw it, huh?
Yeah.
I should go best player. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take Ruben Bain, edge player from Miami. He's the most pro-ready prospect right now in terms of impact.
100%. This dude is just like, you can look at the PFF numbers, 28.6 pass rusher win rate, really good against the run, has done it against high level competition. Doesn't have the productivity, but I mean, he gets to the quarterback. It's not a matter of, how much. It's just a matter of when is he going to get those 10 sacks this season. So you're going to lock in Ruben Bain?
Yep.
All right.
Confirmed. Ruben Bain Jr. goes number 1 overall to the Tennessee Titans. That is the edge out of Miami for you casuals out there. Number 2, we have the Jets on the clock. Metro has the floor. And just a little note right here, I may call and trade up at any time during this mock draft, so keep your ears peeled. Metro, what are we doing with 2?
All right, I obviously am the Jets here, and look, Justin Fields he just played a good game. I'll give him that, but he's not the long-term quarterback. I can't go into 2026 with Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor as my 2 guys. I'm not as high on Mendoza as I am some of these other guys. I like Mendoza. I think he runs a bit of an RPO system in Indiana, a lot of easy, quick throws that can work in certain systems, but I just don't know if the New York Jets need somebody like that. I think they need a bit of a difference maker, and though the sample size isn't a ton for Ty Simpson, I'm going to go Ty Simpson here. Look, Alabama completely relies on this guy. You'll notice any time that Ty has an average or below average game, like the second half of Georgia, right? Florida State. He was okay versus Missouri, and he was okay versus South Carolina. In those games, the Alabama offense completely sputters. They have no ground game. Their offensive line is not as good as we thought it was going to be. Yet this guy, 20 touchdowns, 1 interception, a 117.4 passer rating. And unlike guys like Moore, Lenoris, Levitt, Nussmeier, not so much Mendoza, Simpson will 100% go in the middle of the field. He's not afraid to get that ball in harm's way and make some tight window throws. And for a team like the Jets that need a guy who isn't raw, like this guy's 22 years old, going to be 23. He's not a raw player. He's ready to come in instantly and make an impact. I'm taking Ty Simpson here. I think he is, a shorter sample size player, but in this sample size has been really freaking good for Alabama. So I'm going to take Ty Simpson here.
Ooh.
First quarterback goes off the board.
board.
Ty Simpson of Alabama. And guys, if you've watched him play at all this season, you get it, man. This guy rips it down the middle to the outside and over the top. He is fearless and composed when pressure is in his face. I love the pick at 2. Let's go back to B. Ross at 3. We got the Saints on the clock with every need you can have. They need a whole new team, basically. But B. Ross, what are we thinking with this pick?
So my gut tells me to go quarterback, but I'm a man who says take the best player and the quarterback will come. Build your roster, let all that other stuff happen with the quarterback. Spencer Rattler isn't playing terrible.
It's true.
He is serviceable in terms of if they have more talent around him. But again, I'm going to the defensive side of the ball because I'm taking the best player, and it's Peter Woods, Clemson.
Ooh.
I think you go D-line and you add more beef to that D-line, to that front, because this guy he wreaks havoc on a consistent basis. He's strong. He's explosive. He can rush the passer from the edge if need be, but he's a great interior pass rusher, knows how to use his hands. plays with length and strength at the point of attack. Like he's everything you want in a D lineman. And I think again, don't overcomplicate it. Taking a quarterback, taking Mendoza, taking Moore, maybe, but to me, you go best player and build up your roster.
Awesome pick right there. Peter Woods going off the board to the New Orleans Saints. And if you're a Saints fan, you've gotten the ball ran all over you. I completely understand why you're taking this pick right here. And also, Peter Woods, an awesome prospect in this year's draft. One of the few blue chips truly in 2026. At 4, we have the Cleveland Browns. Metro, you took a quarterback. Is that trend going to continue, or are we going to mix it up a little bit here?
I love taking the tie off and getting a little bit creative up in here. Look, I want to make one comment. I've done Peter Woods to the Saints on almost every mock draft, so I absolutely think that's the right pick. I think I did that in the last mock draft too, so I'm glad we're on the same little wavelength here. I'm going to take a quarterback for the Browns. Look, Dylan Gabriel has not been great, and I don't think Shedeur Sanders is the guy. And that's maybe not necessarily a talent issue. I think it's more of just the team doesn't want him to be the guy. I think they want somebody else.
Fair.
And they have 2 first-round picks here. Their next one's going to be at 14. They have the Jaguars pick. They have an opportunity here to really reset this offense and give Myles Garrett the quarterback of the future. I think you have some options here. I think you can go with the safer pick in Mendoza, or you can go Dante Moore. I think it's important to say with Dante that, look, he's only a junior or a redshirt sophomore, so he has a great chance of returning for another year at Oregon, whereas Mendoza is definitely probably going to go pro this year. By the way, Lenoris, I'm like 99.9% sure he's not going to be in this draft class. So
Fair.
I think he returns back to college and maybe transfers out of South Carolina. I'm going to take Fernando Mendoza, who, look, to me, I don't love the Indiana system when it comes to translating over to the NFL, but we've seen other quarterbacks, look at Bo Nix, for example, who ran a very screen, RPO, even Justin Herbert to the same extent. A lot of RPOs, a lot of screens, a lot of easy, handoffs, dump offs, things like that. But Fernando Mendoza has shown the ability to push the ball down the field. He can make tight window throws. I don't know if he has the most dynamic arm in the NFL, but I think he has a quick, snappy release. I think he gets the ball out on time. He's accurate. Not a lot of flaws to his game, and I think he's a pretty decent athlete, right? And obviously, Indiana's having an incredible football season, but I feel like he's probably honestly, maybe the Heisman frontrunner right now. So I'm going to take Fernando Mendoza to the Cleveland Browns and give them their solid quarterback play that they have not had since Baker Mayfield.
Cleveland, this is for you, baby. At 5, we're moving on with the Dolphins. And I'm debating whether to call and make a trade for a quarterback because there's a guy on the board that is young and talented. It's only like a 2-pick swap, so this is your pick, B. Ross. So you can decline this. Like, you're a guest, man. You could say, Cade, piss off. I don't want this trade. I'm calling up from 7. I'm the Raiders, Mr. B. Ross. I would like to swap 5 and 7 so we can acquire Dante Moore. Would you be aligned to that? Maybe we probably got to send you a 39 minimum, and let's throw 107 as well. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I need all of that. I need 107.
Go ahead. I'll write the check. Keep going.
I want 185 as well.
You can have it. 185. How's that look? Does that look good to you, sir?
739 and 185 to move up 2 spots.
No, 739, 107.
Oof.
Oh yeah, we're gonna load up, and then I get cash behind the door. But yeah,
you got it. What's your Venmo?
Give me 4 picks minimum. No. Send back 218.
Which one?
Thank you. What a humble
for the Dolphins. Yeah.
I put 140. Yeah. There's no way the Dolphins would accept this, or sorry, the Raiders would accept this.
If they want a quarterback, they will.
Quarterback, they would.
For the quarterback of the future?
I won't be a stickler here.
Metro,
first of all,
I guess this isn't your pick.
You're right. You're right. My bad.
I have been in those rooms. I've seen teams get bent over for less. So you'd be surprised what people will take.
Is this approved, sir? I'll call the commissioner right now. It's already in. It's already in. Yep, so thank you. Thank you for doing business with the devil. And this is gonna be like one of my few picks of the day. 5, we have the Raiders, and the Raiders are going with Dante Moore. Dante Moore is a 20-year-old QB. He has been really, really good this year. Most of the time, he's a point guard, dishing and distributing throughout the game. He can throw deep if he's playing a weak secondary and let that shit fly. But in the big games, like against Penn State, he makes big-time plays, but he waits until the moment arises, and then he makes it happen. He doesn't force this stuff. That's the kind of composure I want in my quarterback, and if you're doing that at 20 years old, sign me the hell up. I'll trade whatever pick away. Give me Dante Moore to the Raiders. That's gonna be my big one of the day. Now we're going 6 with the Giants on the clock. It'll go Metro and then right back to B. Ross. B. Ross, pleasure doing business with you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Up 6 here with the New York Giants, and I'm not going to change what I've done the past couple mock drafts. I'm taking the best, in my opinion, the best overall prospect in this draft. In my opinion, the most complete player in his respective position. The only reason why he won't go higher is because he plays the safety position, which, teams don't value as much in the top 3, top 4, top 5. But for a team like the New York Giants that have their defensive line down, they could go offensive line here, but I'm not taking Spencer Fano at 6. I'm not taking, Francis, Caden, any of these guys. They're just not good enough to go at number 6 and move over to right tackle or play inside to play guard. So I'm going to wait on offensive linemen. Maybe they go after it in the free agency market or trade market. I'm going to take Caleb Downs here, man. Look, the safety room in the New York Giants building has gotten better with the addition of Javon Holland, but Tyler Nubin has not been particularly great for this team. They also need help in the secondary, just corner as well, because Deontay Banks hasn't been great. We've seen Paulson Adebo be a little bit up and down, but I think, look, Caleb Downs, he can play strong safety, he can play free safety. I think he can play down closer to the line of scrimmage and play in the nickel. I mean, you could just use this guy as the ultimate, chess piece in the secondary. And look, B. Ross, he played secondary, so I know he can kind of attest to this. I'm sure you've watched Caleb Downs' film. You agree with me that he's probably the best player in his respective position?
It's not even close. He's so good. He is such a good football player. It's like he has very little flaws in his game. And I mean, everything that you want a safety to do at that level, he can do at a high level, and he's done it at a high level. So I don't disagree with the pick. I mean, I wanted to take him for the Saints. I mean, for the Titans.
Oh yeah,
or the Dolphins. Like, that's who I was going to take, and you took him. You stole him because somebody wanted to make a trade. I won't say any names.
That's my bad. That's my
took my guy. He was staring me right there in the eye. Then I get undercutted.
You got paid well. You got paid very handsomely though, so it all worked out. Metro, I don't need to talk about Caleb Downs when a 24-time starting NFL player just talked about Caleb Downs. Let's go to 7 with the Dolphins on the clock. I'm sorry, B. Ross, you did lose out on the Caleb show, but you do have the 7th overall pick with a lot of good options. So I'll just take it away from here.
Now, the scout in me says, go get a quarterback because we don't know. But I'm not sold on this quarterback class behind that offense. They're missing Tyreek for who knows how long, and they have limited weapons around that. So I want to go defense again because there's a guy out there who I think is a baller, and I won't say his name because someone's going to take him. So I'm going to go receiver, and I think we go Jordan Tyson, and we get tools, some weapons. If Mike McDaniel and Tua are there at the end of the season, they're going to keep building a roster around him. And because the tackle and guard market that high isn't as good, I think you go with one of the better receivers in the country, and you go with Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, and Tyreek Hill is probably going to get traded anyway, so you pair Jalen Waddle with Jordan Tyson. I mean,
two different body types, two different styles. They complement each other better to me than Tyreek and Jalen. Granted, they were both explosive playmakers, but I think Jordan is a pure route runner. He's smooth. He can go win the jump ball. He's not as strong as I would like for 7th overall, but the dude makes plays. And at the end of the day, if Tua has real guys who can make plays and get open a multitude of ways, he has a better chance at success. But we shall see.
All right, Jordan Tyson.
Awesome pick. Tyson goes off the board at 7 to the Miami Dolphins after they trade back from 5 to 7. Guys, Tyson's my 2nd overall player. Could not agree more. I love this dude. Let's go to 8 with the Cardinals on the clock. Metro, what are we thinking, man? You got a lot of good options here. How do you want to build this team going forward? Because they need some kind of juice in that building.
It's a great question. I don't even really know where to start here. We haven't seen Walter Nolan play at all this year because of injuries, and Will Johnson's done a really good job in the secondary. So I feel pretty decent about the defense. If I'm going to take a defensive player, it will be Arvell Reese, but I do think long term it might make sense to look a bit more on the offense. You've invested high into Marvin Harrison Jr. I think you need to add more pieces around him. I'm not going to give up on Kyler Murray yet, but I'm getting pretty close to it. I need a right tackle. I can't trust Jonah Williams. I can trust Paris Johnson, but I can't trust Jonah. I think that we can get an upgrade there. I'm going to take, in my opinion, probably the best, safest option at tackle in Spencer Fano. I think Francis, Caden, Jennings, Dunker. I think Lou goes back to college. Lomu might be the next best pure tackle in this draft. Everyone else, I think, moves inside to play guard. Fano, I think, can move, or not move, stay right at right tackle, play very well. He had a rough day versus Tech, and Tech has a couple NFL dudes that can absolutely get after the quarterback. But I think Fano steps in at right tackle. You have your tackle duo of Paris Johnson and Fano for the future, and that's what I'm going to take here at number 8.
Going O-line is never a bad move, especially when you're trying to find an identity for your team. Let's go to 9 with the Bengals on the clock. B. Ross is in the GM war room. What are we thinking for number 9?
They need a pass rusher because Trey Hendrickson won't be there for long. They clearly don't want him there when you talk about not paying your guy. And me personally, this might be a unpopular opinion. I'm taking Keldrick Falk over TJ Parker.
Oh my God, this is Cade's guy 100%.
Let's go.
Keldrick Falk is a baller. Like, I know his agent, me and him are cool, and I've been watching this dude for a while. And Keldrick Falk, I'm just telling you what I know. Baller. The tape doesn't lie. And his size and length shows up time and time again in the run and pass game. I think this guy helps you immediately. As soon as he learns the nuances of playing within the structure of the defense, Keldrick Falk is going to be an impact player early and often. I'm telling you what I know.
Hey, Ross, I have a question for you because you are
What's up?
super intelligent. I've been trying to find a comp for Falk, and you have scouting background, and it's hard to
tough.
comp this guy because he's pretty unique. He's just an absolute beast.
Yeah.
Man, let me put it more specifically. He's big, he's strong, he's not perfectly polished, but it's clear he is a man amongst boys when he's on the field. So what would you put as a comp for him? He just seems like an absolute tree of a human.
Like, that's tough because he's about 6'6", maybe 6'7",
Yes,
almost
6'6".
285 to 290 something. Like, he's a guy who can play on the edge, but if need be in sub packages, he probably can kick inside and probably be a really good player as well. A comp for him.
If you don't have one, it's okay. He's so unique.
I don't think I do because, like, he's a unique body type because he's lean and cut up. Like, he doesn't look 285. He looks 255. So he's a unique body type in that regard. Trying to think someone who was that size, that 280.
You can
There
always
aren't too many
table it
guys.
and bring it back if you want to.
I have to think about it.
I got
I
one.
have to think about it.
Cook.
Who you got?
Keon White for the Patriots. 6'5", 285, plays off the edge, can move him inside. He's a
Keon
good
from
pass
Georgia
rusher.
Tech?
Yeah, kid from Georgia Tech. He can
Yeah.
he can come off the edge a little bit, but he's also really good against the run.
Okay,
So-
Metro.
Yeah.
So the only difference is Keon was a little pudgier
Yep.
around his midsection and like his hips and thighs. Like Keldrick looks like somebody chiseled him and God, somebody prayed like, God, please let me look like this one day. Like that's what he looks like. So, but that is a fair comparison, just in their play styles. But for me, for the Bengals, I'm taking Keldrick Falk, someone who, at the least in his first year, he's going to be really good at versus the run. Probably have between 5 and 7 sacks. Not high volume sack guy early on, but as he gets going, his size is going to show up constantly because a lot of edge guys don't look like that. So I'm taking Keldrick Falk over TJ Parker.
GM Brandon Ross takes Keldrick Falk at 9 for the Bengals. Much needed without a doubt. 10, we have the Commanders. Metro, you've been cooking all day. What are you thinking at 10?
Look, I'm probably going somewhere in the secondary. That Marshawn Lattimore trade ages like milk. It's just terrible. He is. The decline of Marshawn Lattimore is it's a little bit sad because he was so dominant and so good for so many years. But you get to that 30, 31, 32 range, and you see a lot of these corners drop off pretty tough there. But they do have Trey Amos, who they're building around. They do have Mike Sainristil still, who I think should probably kick inside in the slot. So I'm going to go with the cornerback here. The question is, do I go with Jeremiah McCoy, who had a really, really, really good 2024 season, but has not played yet in 2025 because of a torn ACL he suffered in college or in the summer, and I think he should be returning soon. But kind of a riskier pick here, or do I go Mansour Delane, who I think has flexibility to play multiple positions? A little bit of a late riser. Didn't really play great the past few years. Transferred to LSU, but this year
Yep.
really has taken a big step forward. I'm tempted to go Mansour Delane here just because I think Jermod has shown me better tape, but he hasn't played this year. And that's
Yep.
always going to be a little bit tougher to, can he translate that after the injury? Is he even going to go pro? Does he return to college for another year to, put better film out there? I think I'm going to go Mansour Delane. It's kind of a riskier pick than I think some people might want to admit because of the fact that this is a 1 year progress he's made. Because the past years weren't terrible, but they were quite inconsistent. You can see last year gave up 7 touchdowns. Transfers over to LSU. My concern would be, is this just a really good scheme fit for him? And can he translate over to other schemes? I still think he's very good. I think he's really solid in man coverage, really good in zone. And for a team like Washington that has Dan Quinn that's going to do a lot of press man coverage, because that's what he did in Dallas,
True.
I think Mansour Delane has the size, length, physicality, everything and above to handle this position here. A little bit risky, but I think that this is a player that if you can develop him properly, he's got the tool set to be really freaking good.
Metro, I think it's a great call out that not all players fit in all systems, but in Dan Quinn's system, he
True.
should fit quite nicely off day one, truly using his strengths to his full advantage. At 11, we got the Panthers on the clock. Mr. Ross is back on the clock. This one's a super interesting pick at 11 with the Panthers. What are you thinking, sir?
I'm thinking a lot because I don't know about Bryce Young. I don't. And there's some guys here who I think could be better suited to playing that offense for what they want to do. But with that being said, I'm going to say they keep Bryce Young. Why? Because right now he's cheaper than bringing in a new guy. And again, he's not terrible. He just has bad moments. When they're bad, they're bad. But when he's good, they're actually a solid football team. So with that being said, I think I'm going to go back to receiver. And I'm going to go get him another weapon. We're going to get better around him. And this guy is my favorite receiver to watch this year because he reminds me of a more explosive Amon-Ra St. Brown. We're going Makai Lemon. This dude is a baller. He's strong with the ball in his hands. He's explosive after the catch. He can run the full route tree, but he's most effective when he plays inside. He can play outside, but his superpower is playing in the slot. He knows how to find the soft spaces in zone. He can beat man-to-man coverage, and with McMillan and Leggett on the outside, you slide him inside. I think you have a nice three-headed monster that's cheap right now. That if you can steal some wins, some quality wins, and make one run with this squad, Bryce Young still is going to be cheap because he's never going to be a $50 million quarterback. But they will be better for it. And I think they have a solid running game. I think they're better up front. They do have some holes that can be addressed later in the draft. But right now, I'm going with Makai Lemon, a playmaker who he doesn't need a lot. He just needs the ball. Give him the ball, he creates.
Well said, Mr. B. Ross. Makai Lemon is one of the players this year. In the NFL draft, you try to project, right, and see, oh, he's got traits, he's got skills, but he's
Yep.
having an above average season. Makai Lemon's absolutely balled. He is one of these 5 guys in this draft. You're like, oh, he's undoubtedly played his way into the first round, and he has earned that shit without a doubt. So love the pick at 11. Super fun for the Panthers. Panthers fans and wide receivers, man, hits like crack in the first round. Let's go to 12. The Cowboys are on the clock. Metro, it's your team, and I already know where you're going, but I just want to see if you go that way.
I don't know where I'm going either, to be honest with you. I
You don't?
I don't.
I
I
do.
really don't. I think I know who I'm going to pick here, but I just want to make a quick comment on Makai Lemon. Makai Lemon, I think we've made this pick a few times for the Panthers, just a safety blanket for Bryce Young. Bryce Young, I think he's gotten better year in and year out. Still hasn't fully put it
Yep.
together yet. I think he can. Hopefully, maybe at the end of this year, maybe next year, you throw Makai Lemon in there. That's your upgrade for Adam Thielen for the past few years, and you get Ted McMillan there. Leggett has played better as of late, so I'm pretty excited about that. I think I'm gonna take Arvell Reese. The Cowboys linebacking
There you
room
go.
is really rough right now. You have Kenneth Murray, who big dude, very talented, came from Oklahoma, but just has not been able to translate that. He runs, he runs through the line of scrimmage and guys are running right by him. He's not a good tackler, not good in coverage, not good in space. Arvell Reese is somebody that is all those things. I think you
So
pair
good.
Arvell Reese with DeMarvion Overshone. He's got the size, the speed, the athleticism. He's excellent in coverage, really good in run fits. Doesn't make a ton of mistakes. And I think, man, you pair up your linebacking core of a super freaky athletic DeMarvion Overshone, who is just dynamite, can run up plays and make tackles for loss for days. You pair that with Arvell Reese, who in a lot of ways kind of similar in some ways. I think you got two very athletic, solid coverage linebackers that can get downhill. And I think in some ways you can also use these guys in blitz packages too, which Dallas really could use right now because they don't have a pass rusher. I would have went TJ Parker. I've done it in past mock drafts, but I think I could take another edge rusher down the board here because of the depth in this position, specifically for pass rushers. And we have Donovan Ezaraku, who is still developing. I'm going to take Arvell Reese here, who I think arguably should be taken in the top 10, but he falls here to Dallas, so I'm not going to overthink it.
Reese and Overshone might be the freakiest linebacker combo in the NFL. Call them the freak show. Let's go to 13 with the Rams on the clock. This is the first round pick they acquired from Atlanta last year when Atlanta traded up for James Pierce Jr. And man, if it ends up being 13, what a great move by the Rams. Rams on the clock. So is B. Ross. B. Ross, what do you think?
Yeah, so originally I was thinking corner, but they just traded for McCary from the Titans today.
Oh, I did not know that. Roger
And I think
McCreary.
and I think he's a good football player, and he's going to be better because he's going to have a real pass rush in front of him, and not just Jeffrey Simmons. Pass rushers help corners, and corners help pass rushers. Coverage and rush always work together. So I'm not going to go corner. I'm going to go quarterback. I think they go get a guy now because they don't know how much longer Matt Stafford's going to play and can play because he's been banged up over the last few years. So and the guy I think they go with is it's gonna be so unconventional. Y'all gonna look at me like, what are you thinking? And
Lottie?
but I know that Sean McVay, I know his kind of guy. His kind of guy is Sam Levitt.
Okay, yeah.
Let's go.
Sam
Fire
Levitt
me
to the
up.
Rams. And I say that because he's a guy who can play on the move. He can create with his legs. He's actually a pretty good decision maker. He does take chances, but he takes them to Jordan Tyson, who's a really good receiver. And you're talking about giving Sam Levitt time to develop a Puka and however many years that Devontae has left, and they're going to restack that receiver room alongside Puka and give him different body types. I think Sam Levitt in 2 or 3 years can be the guy, but I think he's going to need time to sit. That's the perfect situation for a young quarterback who's talented, who's a playmaker, strong arm, accurate. He can run. And in that offense, all you have to do is not make mistakes. Sean McVay is going to give you opportunities. Just don't piss down your leg when it's time to make a play. And I think Sam Levitt has a lot of baller in him to where he won't have that happen.
Man, this pick is super exciting. Unconventional, you're right, but dude, it totally makes sense, B. Ross. Sam Levitt, like you mentioned, he's got that baller gene, and that sounds like every player has that, but he truly does. He's been in some big-time games, and when his team needed him, he stepped up to the challenge. Not every quarterback is like that whatsoever. He made it happen last year. Oh, no question. He's got that in him, and no better way to grow up in the NFL than with being next to Sean McVay. Awesome pick. Metro, you got any comments?
I'm not the biggest Sam Levitt guy. That's all I'll say. But you put him behind Matthew Stafford for a year or two. You let him sit with Sean McVay. I can see the vision. And frankly, look, I mean, we talked about it earlier. Lenore Sellers probably doesn't go in this year's draft. Nussmeyer's been a disaster this year. Mateer might return to college, might not. I don't think he's a first-round pick. I like Jaden Maiava, but you know, I've kind of turned a little bit closer to him, but I don't think he's a first-round pick. Klubnik, hell no. Drew Aller, hell no.
No.
Carson Beck, absolutely not. I mean,
No.
there's just the class is really
So
starting
many
to thin
question
out.
marks. Yeah.
The class is kind of really thinned out a lot more, and I mean, if Dante Moore goes back for another year, this class is going to go from really exciting to really, really rough in the quarterback room. So yeah, that's a fun pick there, and I think he's a very talented player. Just needs to sit behind Stafford and learn from him. So, all right.
Absolutely.
14 here with the Browns. They took my guy Fernando Mendoza with the 4th overall pick. I got to go some more on the offense here, and I'm looking at either a receiver or something on the offensive line because when you look in the receiving room, Jerry Jeudy has been a nothing burger this year. He's just not shown up this year, but They have really good productivity from their tight ends right now, Harold Fannin and David Njoku, who I believe is a free agent this year, so we'll see if he gets re-signed or not. Carnell Tate's available here, and when in doubt, take a receiver from Ohio State has got to be the philosophy here for a lot of schools. And Cleveland, Ohio State, that's always a nice connection. Carnell Tate also played with Quinshot Judkins, so maybe you go sign Will Howard and rebuild that 2024 Ohio State championship team. I'm also tempted to go with Francis Mauigoa, I think that's how you say his name, because you look at this offensive line, they're going to need probably 5 starters by the end of next year because they have dudes who are going to be retiring or off of salaries, and they're going to have to find some replacements because they don't have the options on their team right now, and you have an opportunity here with 2 first-round picks to take your quarterback and one of your offensive linemen of the future. I'm in a dilemma here. Do I go with the receiver and Carnell Tate, who I can almost guarantee you is going to be a really productive player in the NFL? Maybe not a wide receiver 1, but definitely a fantastic wide receiver 2, and who I think can develop to be a wide receiver 1, by the way. Or do I go with Francis, kick him inside to play guard, and let him be my, hopefully my Zach Martin of the future? So it's tough. Cade, you haven't made a pick in a while. I'll let you take this pick here. Am I going to go Tate or am I going to go with Francis?
I'm going to ask you one question, and how do you answer is how I'll pick. Do you want to sell jerseys, or do you want to win in 4 years?
I want to win championships. If I'm the Browns, I've been selling Baker Mayfield jerseys on restock for years now. I need to win a championship sometime. I got to keep my job.
Then I think Carnell Tate is – listen, they're both 10 times the athlete I am. I think Carnell Tate's much better than Francis, but we do need to fix this O-line badly. And I think we go O-line. It's an absolute must. And Fernando Mendoza, let's not pretend like he can avoid pressure like he's nice Lamar Jackson. He needs the time. He needs the process. That's how you win.
Good point.
Let's take a tackle.
Good point.
Yeah, and I think this is sort of like a Will Campbell situation where you stick him at tackle, see if he can work there. If he doesn't, kick him inside to play guard, and that'll be his natural position. Wherever he best is suited, I think you take him here. And Francis is not a Jonah Savainea player comp because Jonah has stones for feet. All right, that dude cannot move his feet to save his life. Francis can actually move. He's actually quite athletic for his size. So Francis to Cleveland there, I think would be a very fun pick for that team.
Jonah catches a hard stray and
Dude,
probably worthy as well.
dang.
Probably worthy.
That hurt me.
Probably
Jesus.
worthy. Probably worthy. Let's go to 15. We have the Texans on the clock.
Oof.
B. Ross, I see you twiddling your thumbs and you look excited for this pick. What are you thinking?
I'm gonna need your help on this pick
That's what I'm here for. I'm an advisor.
because it's the same kind of thing. Do I go running back? Do I go O-line and protect the franchise? Because we have Jeremiah Love staring us right there in the face at the top of the board. We'd have watched the tape all spring, and we know how good he is. But if we can't keep our guys upright, how good is anyone going to be? So
my question would be, which offensive lineman would you take though?
Proctor,
Okay,
because
you could stick him
because
inside
he
a guard
has-
or tackle.
Yep, guard.
Okay,
Because they missed on Green from Texas A&M, traded him to Philly.
Yeah.
Right. And I actually liked him coming out of Texas A&M. I thought he was gonna be pretty good. Got lazier. Didn't think it was possible. So I'm staring at these guys, and it's the same question. It's like, do I want to, pretend to be explosive on offense, but I can't protect, or do I actually get better, protect, and go with the weapons that I have? Because Woody Marks isn't a bad player. I think he can serve them for what they need. And running backs, you can find in the 4th round, in the 5th round. We've seen it time and time again. But it's hard to find good old linemen, especially ones that look like that and can move.
well, and you could put Caden Proctor at running back too. That's what Bama's done.
It's so true.
I mean, at 300 plus pounds, do you want to tackle him?
Nope.
So
yeah.
I just don't know which way to go.
Fair. My 2 cents on this. I think this interior line class actually has a good amount of 2nd round and 3rd round depth, which is something that I take very big note of coming into this draft. This one's not loaded with blue chips, but it has good amount of interior depth right in the middle. So Jeremiah Love's so much damn fun. And this Texans O-line is ass, guys. Let's not pretend it's not Cheeks. It is.
They're not good.
Oh,
Not
it's
a little bit.
Cheeks.
No. Cheeks, Bahuki, we need an O-lineman but I think we get one in the second or the third. We have a second or third round pick, right, Metro? Do you want to check that super quick before I look stupid?
Yeah,
Oh, we
they
got
have two.
42 and 47.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh
Not
yeah.
gonna lie to you. In a real draft, I would trade back.
Yeah.
I would get even more
Do you
picks.
want to?
They,
We
well,
can
they
do
traded
that right
back
now.
last year too, by the way. That's how they got the 2 picks.
No,
Who
I
trade up
wouldn't
if we
trade
were
back right now only because
Okay.
Jeremiah Love's staring me right there, and the Vikings and Bears are right behind me. They're going to take them.
Yeah.
You're
So-
not wrong.
So that was my other dilemma. I was like, well, if I trade back, they're going to take them, and then I'm left with, again, it's quality backs, but like this dude is like different,
Yes.
B. Ross,
right?
how good is Jeremiah Love? People hear every year how good a running back is in a class, and they go, oh, he's good. Everyone associates a basic label on him. Why is he so dynamic, and why will he be great in the NFL?
He's going to be great in the NFL because he's patient. His ability to let things develop, and then he's explosive once he decides where he wants to go. He's a decisive runner who's explosive. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, which to me, all backs in this modern age have to be able to do in order to have first round value or second round value for that matter. I just think, again, he's a guy, he just needs to touch the ball. If you get him the ball in space, he can make things happen, opposed to some guys who need, multiple carries. He might only need 15 touches a game to be highly efficient, how he is at Notre Dame right now. So he's good because he doesn't need much. That's what makes good backs in NFL. Like, good backs in NFL don't need 30 carries anymore. They don't. They just need about 20 touches. 20 touches should equate to 100 plus yards, 1 or 2 touchdowns, depending on when and where they got the ball. He's
And for
that
the-
kind of guy.
Oh, yeah. And for the Love Doctor, it absolutely will. Metro, you got any comments before you take your pick here at 16 with the Vikings?
I didn't get your joke with the Love Doctor at first. Then it clicked in my head. I was like, okay. No, look, I'm a little upset because I was going to take him at 16. So, that's revenge for me taking your guy earlier in the draft.
Good
But
aim,
look,
Ross.
Jeremiah Love
We
is
can trade if you want.
I'm good at this point. I'd have to give you like 3 first-round picks for that guy. Look, Jeremiah Love is one of the few players that he can be running at 25% speed, and then he will Mario jump over anybody in the entire world. This guy has an insane vertical. If he goes to the combine, I think he might destroy the vertical jump, especially if he gets a running start, which I don't know if you can do in the NFL. He is
No, you cannot.
if he could, he might break it. This dude is a freaky athlete. I mean, and even last year he was playing through injuries during his run to the championship, and he was still jumping over people. And I love the way this guy fights. I love the way he works. And look, a best friend for a quarterback is, they say the offensive line. Well, no, not today. The Texans say, nope, it's the running back. We're going to take a running back here. So rest in peace to CJ Stroud and his legs, because he's going to get hurt a lot.
Because he's old.
Well, because they traded Laramie Tunsil as well, which makes no sense at all.
Made
right.
zero. Don't get me started on that.
I know. All right, 16, I'm up with the Vikings. And look, I don't know what to do with this team because JJ McCarthy's been trash. He's been trash. Let's call a spade a spade. He's been trash. And Carson Wentz is not the guy either. But I don't think I can take a quarterback yet because we've only seen McCarthy play 2 games. Granted, those 2 games showed me basically nothing outside of maybe half a quarter. So I'm not going to take a quarterback here, especially because of who's still available. But just know I considered it for all the Vikings fans out there. Now I'm here at 16. I'm not taking an edge rusher in TJ Parker. I'm not taking Kenyon Sadiq, who I like. I don't think he's all this and that. I like the idea of Caleb Banks. Run stuff up the middle that can, disrupt the plays. They have some older guys up there that just aren't getting the job done like they used to. So I'm tempted to go that. I'm also tempted to go Jeremiah McCoy. Offensive line at this point is, it's kind of weaker now. They need a center because their starting center, I think, is going to retire after this year because of concussions. So that's really unfortunate. So I'm probably going to go ahead and take... I think I'm going to take Jeremiah McCoy because I think they could really use an outside corner. They have some pieces there that I like, but I just don't know if they have a lockdown guy. Isaiah Rodgers has been fine. He's been really good, but he's not a cornerback 1. He's a really solid cornerback 2 or 3 who's being asked to play like a cornerback 1, and he's gotten beat up a few times. I mean, just watch A.J. Brown kind of sun that guy a few times out there. So I'm going to take Jeremiah McCoy to hopefully develop into becoming our CB1. You can move Isaiah to your number 2. And then, Metellus, et cetera, you can figure out where they fit in. So I'll take Jeremiah McCoy there for the Vikings.
There goes Mr. McCoy at 16. At 17, we have the Chicago Bears on the clock. Bears on a bit of a hot streak, 4-1 in the past 5 games. How do they finish the season? Who knows? But today they're picking 17. B. Ross, what are we thinking with this pick?
Well, I'll make this very simple. They suck at stopping the run.
Yeah.
Like
Felt
they
that.
are god awful
Yeah.
at stopping the run. So we're going to get a big man to clog up the middle. Let's just 6'6", 330, stop the run. That is your job. So I'm taking Caleb Banks. I'm not going to overthink this because other parts of me were like, oh, let's go linebacker. Well, but linebacker's not good if he doesn't have a good D lineman in front of him.
Yeah.
Like to be kept clean. They paid Tremaine Edmonds and he can't get to the ball because he has guys beating him up like he wore boots in a club. No white tees, no boots. They're kicking him out. So we're going to get some protection for Tremaine and go Caleb Banks. Get a big body who's going to eat up 2 blockers every time he's on the field. You can't leave him one-on-one because he can beat grown men even at his young age. So I think Caleb Banks is the right fit to help that defense. Like, it's not about offense. At some point, you got to stop people.
Very true. 17, Caleb Banks, the Florida defensive interior, goes off the board. Sometimes football is just that system. You plug the space, they can't run through it. 18, we have the Baltimore Ravens. Metro's on the clock, and Metro's cooking up something spicy. You can see the twinkle in his eye. Buddy, what are our thoughts?
We're taking a quarterback. I'm kidding.
Oh, you're trying to break
Turn
the
it
internet.
off. Turn it off.
No, look, I really want to go TJ Parker here. I really, really do. But they run a 3-4, and I don't know if he is the best suited player for an outside linebacker role, especially with how the Ravens like to utilize their guys. They have Mike Green, who has not been good at all this year, but you invested a little bit of some capital in him. I still think he has the talent to get there. And they just don't have, Adisa Isaac's on IR. Their defensive line has been killed and ravaged with injuries. And Kyle Van Noy's been hurt, hasn't played great. I got to go somewhere on the defensive line, even though I really, really, really want to go with Carnell Tate here. But I can't ignore how bad this defense has been. And, we talked about the philosophy of keeping your linebackers clean. Roquan Smith has had a down year this year because of injuries, but also because there have been guys running freely at him. I think I'm going to take, because I look at David Bailey and Cassius Howell, and I think they're a better fit in terms of being that outside linebacker mold.
Fair.
And
Fair.
I think they need pass rushers, but I also think they need to get after the run a little bit too. It's just not been great. I feel like they need multiple pieces here. Who I might trade down, actually. You know what? I'm going to trade down, and I think a few teams I think could be interesting. I think Chargers would want to jump San Francisco for a pass rusher because Khalil Mack's going to retire probably in the next couple of years. Or Dallas makes a big jump up to take TJ Parker because they need pass rush help.
Ooh, that would be sick. We got to do that. That's the headline of the show. We got to do that, Metro. How do we figure it out? I'm Dallas. Talk to me. Talk to me, Goose. What are we thinking?
You got to pay a lot to come up that far.
Yeah,
we got to pay an arm and a leg.
I don't want to trade our first round picks. That's the issue, right? Dallas is a
brother.
large piece away, but they're probably going to have to. So I think realistically speaking, a more realistic one would be the LA Chargers moving up for TJ Parker because they have Tuli Tuipulotu, who's really freaking good.
Yep.
But opposite of him, they need to find somebody else. And Dallas is not a team that trades up very often. I just don't see it too often. So the headline here is going to be the Chargers making a trade up, and I think they would do because it's a smaller move up. I think it'd be 21, 18, 2 seconds, probably like that. Is what my guess would be.
Metro took me to Edge Fest, but the Chargers is an excellent trade up right here. Let's get them all the way to 18. Metro, who are they taking?
I'm not going to overthink this. I'll take TJ Parker. You got Tuli Tuipulotu. And again, it's kind of the question, can he fit in the system? But I look at Jesse Minter, and I think that guy's a complete wizard. I think he can really put anybody out there, and they'll play at a career high. And I think the way that the Chargers, their size profile of their 3-4 outside linebackers, I think better suits what TJ Parker does because he's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But this year hasn't been his year compared to last year where he had 12 sacks. And I've talked about this in previous episodes where we've done this conversation. I do worry a little bit about him his potential not necessarily being, fully tapped into. I just don't know if there's that second level to him. Like sometimes you'll
Does he
take a
have a
player.
ceiling?
Yeah, sometimes you'll take a
How
player
high's the ceiling? Yeah,
and you get
fair.
them out of the draft and they're instantly really good. But they're never great because they've already reached their full potential. I kind
Yep.
of worry about that with TJ a little bit because he was so good last year, and this year he's kind of fell back down to earth a little bit once the rest of Clemson all kind of fell down as well. So I worry a little bit about that. But for a team in the LA Chargers that are looking to win championships, I think they can afford to go on a more safer prospect that is going to be a contributor immediately. Maybe doesn't have the upside of a David Bailey or Cassius Howell or guys like that, but I think Parker definitely has, he definitely has a really high ceiling though. Who's just a really good player, and if you tell me that he has a couple of seasons with over 10 sacks, I wouldn't be terribly surprised. If you can get that with your first overall or your first round pick, I think you take that 9 times out of 10 here. So you trade 2 second-round picks, but I think you get a really, really talented and really good edge rusher to pair alongside Tuli Tuipulotu for the future.
Awesome pick right there. 18 Chargers trade up for TJ Parker. 19 we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. This one's a wild card. B. Ross. I don't know what you're gonna do here, but make it amazing, King. What are you thinking?
Well, that's the issue. I don't know what to do because
I think it's an
I'm
easy
sure.
answer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I
but
have a proposition, and it's wild, and it wouldn't happen, but it's sick. So you got to hear me out, okay?
Okay.
what you got?
Okay. All right. Let me fantasize. All right. Ole Miss had 2-star receivers. Who were they? DK Metcalf and AJ Brown. AJ Brown playing better, hurt though in the last game. He wants out clearly. He seems to be upset every single week. What if AJ Brown makes his way back with his previous teammate on the Pittsburgh Steelers? Steelers trade with the Eagles. Eagles get their pick, and Eagles take Carnell Tate. Come on. Come on now. That's so much fun.
That would be what happened to him at Tennessee.
Exactly.
Same exact thing.
It repeats history.
History repeats itself. I'm not saying it can't happen.
It can't
I will
happen,
be-
but it's fun.
No, well, it can't because they overpaid for that defense. That sucks.
Yeah. Trash.
That's the issue.
It's
Is
true.
the cap number.
Oh,
His
you're right.
his
Good point.
cap number is still top 15 at the position. And then when you look at Ramsey, Slay, TJ,
you can package TJ to Philadelphia.
Oh no,
AJ
absolutely
back.
not. Absolutely not.
This is
Nah,
why we
keep
got B.
that.
Ross on here,
No,
man. He's the
absolutely
voice
not.
of reason.
I'm not getting rid of my pass rushers for nobody. So with that being said, I love Carnell Tate. I think this guy is a playmaker who can win at 3 levels. He has deceptive top end speed. He never looked like he's really taking the top off until you realize he's running behind and past everyone. I think he's a really good football player. Who's that quarterback? Who knows?
Probably Rodgers for another year.
It would not surprise me if he came back for another year because I really do think he's enjoyed playing in Pittsburgh, and I think him and Tomlin have a really good relationship.
I agree.
And I think Tomlin does a good job of managing Aaron just in terms of always communicating with him. That's all he ever wanted in Green Bay, is just be open and honest with him, and I think Tomlin does a good job of that. So I think they go get him a first-round receiver that he never got in his 18 years in Green Bay. You go get Carnell Tate, pair him with DK. You got Calvin Austin still. You got Jonnu Smith. You got Pat Freiermuth. Like, this offense becomes a little bit more dangerous with another weapon.
Mr. Ross, that is an awesome pick. Carnell Tate, I'm on the gravy train, man. I think it's a top 10 pick this year. Getting him at 19 is absurd. 20, we have the 49ers and Metro, the GM. Metro sitting in his office, twirling his pencil, ready to make a big-time pick at 20. You're on the clock.
They ever since the Nick Bosa injury, they have been the worst pass rushing unit in the NFL. Bryce Huff has been their main contributor in that unit, and even himself, he can only do so much. Michael Williams has, when I mean zero pass rush upside. He is a nothing burger in the pass rushing department, but he is a good enough run stuffer, and I think he's a talented player that can still develop. You'll get Fred Warner back next year. Hopefully you get some more development from, Alfred Collins and CJ West and Mike Hale, et cetera, et cetera. You get Nick Bosa back as well. So I think you need more pass rush juice. I think you need more help up the middle. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's an interior defensive lineman that, I like Amari Washington. I think his first step is really good. I don't know if the hands, the technique is all there quite yet. Dominique Orange kind of fallen off a little bit. I like Caden McDonald, but I don't know if he's the pass rusher I'm looking for. I'm always wishing that there was like a the Washington guy or the guy that went to Tampa Bay, those interior rushers that can get after the quarterback a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't remember their names, but I think I'm going to take it's between David Bailey or Caden Proctor because I believe Trent Williams probably has 1 or 2 more years left in him. I think Proctor would be a really good understudy for a year or two, and he could probably stick inside to play guard if you need him to.
Yep.
Especially with Ben Barch being on IR, which it feels like everybody's on IR on this team. I'm going to go with Proctor because I think this offensive line has been needing talent for the past few years. You just paid your quarterback a lot of money, though he hasn't played at all this year, which is unfortunate. But I'm going to go with Caden Proctor here. I think it's one of those situations where he can play guard or be your backup tackle for a year. Trent Williams retires, Caden Proctor steps in, seamless transition from there. And yeah, I'm going to Caden Proctor here.
Caden Proctor goes off the board at 20 overall to the San Francisco 49ers. 21 Baltimore trades back, and now they're on the clock again. B. Ross, you got a lot of options here. Good trade back. What's our thoughts?
Thoughts are everyone's hurt on the team.
Yeah.
So
It's tough.
we're getting new strength staff, first off.
Good analysis.
Guys got to go because it's like they have so many guys out and guys on IR. And Metro brought up the point with the edge rushers, like a 3-4 backer who rushes from a 2-point is a different world from a 4-3 guy who plays with his hand down.
100%.
And for some guys, that's not an easy transition. Like it's not as simple as just standing up and putting your hand down. Like your angles change, your gaps change, movement changes, like your steps change because you step with opposite feet sometimes. Like it's a whole thing. So I want to go edge right here because they need some pass rush. But then I'm looking at the offense. So I liked Bateman coming out of Minnesota. Never been a big fan of what he's done since being in the NFL. He's been very inconsistent. They paid him though. So now I'm sitting there like, well, you're stuck with him for at least another 2 years. And now you have Zay Flowers who's going to be getting paid. DeAndre Hopkins is on his way out.
Yeah.
And after that, they have a bunch of small guys. It's Tylen Wallace, Dayton Wade, LaJohntay Wester, like smaller built guys who are good players in their own right, but I need some playmakers. I need guys who can just get the ball and go. Oh, decisions. My gut tells me go receiver to help Lamar, but my gut also tells me that if the Ravens can't stop Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs again, Lamar doesn't matter. Oh, decisions. And then I'm thinking about inside linebacker because
and there's some good ones.
there are some good ones left.
My thing with linebackers, you can get some in the second round. There's a lot of good pieces here.
True and false, and the only reason I say that because you can get them in a second if they're there.
Yeah, it always happens.
And it's sometimes it's like just take the guy you love.
True. Yeah.
Right? Because if not, there's no guarantee. And if you don't, but I will say this: we have the draft capital now to trade up and go get one later in the top of the second if we do need one. So thanks for that trade. Oh. But with that being said, we are going to take David Bailey from Texas Tech. I think schematically, in how they play, we talk about a 3-4 backer. They're between 6'2", 6'4", about 250 to 275, depending on their twitch, explosiveness, quickness. I think he fits the mold of a Baltimore kind of guy as well, mentally, physically tough. And coming from a place like Texas Tech with Coach McGuire, he is all of those things. Like Harbaugh is going to love this dude when he meets him, when he, all the stuff that no one sees, he's going to excel. So I'm going to take David Bailey to help this Ravens pass rush as Mike Green's develop, and they get healthy. They need another guy. David Bailey is that guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, every great team in the NFL has the coolest position in the NFL, which is called a third down mercenary. That is what David Bailey is. You send him in on third down, Get a sack, go back to the sideline, enjoy the bench, brother, because you earned it. That's his one job, and he's going to be phenomenal in the NFL. 22, Rams on the clock. Metro, pondering. What's our pick?
Boom, boom,
I am pondering. So my thought process now is I would like to add a corner, but Avion Terrell is undersized for an outside position. 5'11", looks a little shorter than that, very scrawny. And I just don't know if for this team, they needed somebody with a bit more size and physicality to them. I don't mind Colton Hood. I don't mind that at all. I wouldn't be surprised if he returned to college for another year. AJ Harris is interesting. I don't really consider him at 22, though. They also need a right tackle because Havenstein is injured, or not injured, but is getting older. Issue is, this is the issue. There's not a first-round guy. I mean, I like Caleb Lomu. I think he's got some talent. You have to move him over to right tackle. I don't know if he's a first-round talent. I like Austin. I don't know how to say his name. Austin Silverwold, whatever you say his name as. But newer to the tackle position. I would prefer to have somebody with a bit more experience to him. That all said, I'm going to take the tie off here. I'm going to go with Kenyon Sadiq. I think, and I said this last time when we did our mock draft, I think the LA Rams want to run 12 personnel. Last year you took Terrence Ferguson. He has done nothing so far this year. 2 catches for 50-something yards and 1 touchdown. Hasn't been used a ton, but I think long-term you have Higbee, who is going to probably be retiring here soon. He's 32. How much longer do you really have of him? He's been productive this year. So what I'm looking at right now is I'm looking at a tight end room of Higbee and Sadiq as your top 2 guys, with Terrence Ferguson developing, getting a bit further along in terms of adding mass and size, run blocking, things like that. Then when Higbee retires, probably 1-2 years down the road, you have Kenyon Sadiq, who would be your tight end 1, receiving threat, big, strong, physical athlete. You pair him up with Terrence Ferguson, who, ironically, didn't Ferguson also go to Oregon? So back-to-back, yeah, he went to Oregon. So back-to-back Oregon tight ends. You pair that with a young quarterback in Levitt. The motto is, best friend for young quarterbacks is tight ends. I get 2 of them, one who is a bit more of a receiving threat and one who is developing to be a bit more of an all-around threat. I think Sadiq is a really talented player, and I've seen some people take him a lot earlier. I don't agree with that at all, but I do agree with him around the 20s range, and I think Kenyon Sadiq with the LA Rams, getting him in some 12 personnel packages, I think would be a lot of fun for this offense. So I'm going to go Kenyon Sadiq here.
For those of you that don't speak football, 12 personnel translates to meat to meat. You're running the football. Kenyon Sadiq is a willing blocker in the run game. Trying to keep my composure, guys. Don't laugh. Kenyon Sadiq loves to block. Is he the best at it? No, but he's pretty dang good. You're going to make a difference with him in that lineup in 12 personnel. 23, Patriots on the clock. B. Ross. What's our pick?
Can we talk about the Browns game? Give up 5 sacks to Myles Garrett.
Oh my God. Clear need.
Cooking them.
Also, it's Myles Garrett, so I'm not going to
that dude dang near walks on water when you're talking about edge rushers.
That is
like,
true.
It's like I've seen game plans and like his number and his name is everywhere. Stop. This dude can't beat you. If anybody else beats you, it's okay. But he can't beat you. So, no. So, knowing this staff in New England, they will protect the quarterback. They are going to go tackle or guard because they have a guy. They have a real guy in Drake May. So, I think going anything else right here would be advantageous of them. I think they go get the best player who's left on their board at the position. Now, but that being said, I don't know who the hell that's going to be.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go tackle or guard because I can find this value in the second round as well. I am going to go corner because they're going to keep building this defense. This defense will look it will be remnants of what Belichick built during that dynasty. They're going to have a lot of versatility, a lot of different body types, a lot of guys who can do a bunch of different things because they like football players. Vrabel likes really smart, instinctive football players. He like guys who can tackle. He like guys who can cover. I mean, all coaches do technically, but it's a certain way Vrabel wants it to look. And I think the guy they go with, because Elliott being a former Green Bay guy, they don't like corners under 5'9", or guys who play small, guys who appear small. They like big guys. And who is it? Kid from Clemson, Terrell. he's the proper height, but he's thin framed.
Yeah.
Like when you see him in person, like very small waist and hips. But Colton Hood, he has size, he has length, and I think he is a New England kind of guy. He can run, he can cover, and I think he pairs well with Marcus Jones and Christian Gonzalez. You slide Marcus Jones inside full time, let him cover in the slot. You got a shutdown corner on the other side, and you let Colton Hood take a little bit of a beating his first year because most corners do. And then I think he gets better and better because his team's going to keep getting better. So I'm taking Colton Hood for the Patriots right here.
Man, how is YouTube free? Y'all just got NFL scout analysis and insider info. Colton Hood goes off the board at 23 to the Patriots. Awesome pick for the scheme right there. 24, we got the Seahawks. Metro, what's our thoughts?
I don't have any thoughts right now. I would like to add a corner opposite of Witherspoon because Reek Wilden is probably out the door. You do have Josh Jobe.
I've heard of him.
Alabama.
You have heard of him. I just don't know. You kind of took Colton Hood, who I was probably going to take here. I don't like the idea of having Witherspoon, who's a very physical corner, but is a little bit, I don't want to say undersized, but he's not a massive corner, right? He's 5'11", 180, 190, whatever. So, and then Josh Jobe, 5'11", 190. So I think adding another guy, sub 6 foot, 180 pounds, makes your secondary a little bit lighter. AJ Harris is, I don't want to touch that right for this team. What I do think this team needs to do is they need more playmakers next to Jackson Smith and Jigbo. When you look at the Seahawks' productivity in the passing game, let me pull the numbers up here. They have JSN leading the team with 819 yards. The next guy up is Cooper Kupp with 293. I mean, we're talking about a 500-plus yard gap. So they need more receiving help, and I would ideally like to find somebody with size who can win downfield. And I'm going to go with Chris Brazo the second. We are going to talk about our receivers in a different video, our receiving rankings for the 2026 draft. I love Chris Brazo. I think he has the size, definitely has the speed. I worry about physicality because he's only 500. He's only 200 pounds at 6'5". I know 500-pound receiver would be nuts. But maybe Caden Proctor can move outside. But I think he's a very savvy receiver. I know Tennessee has the stigma around them of producing these really athletic receivers that have these super wide splits, and that's how they get the productivity. This is not a Jalen Hyatt clone. Jalen Hyatt cannot handle a lick of physicality, right? He is just way too small and doesn't have the nuance and release package to get off of those guys. Chris has a bit more of that. He has the size. I think his release package is good enough, even though I think it's a little bit limited, and maybe you want to continue to further develop that. I think in this system, JSN, Cooper Kupp, JSN keeps doing his thing. He's still your wide receiver one. Chris Brazo, he's your deep threat. He's your guy that goes down the field, opens up the field a little bit more for these guys to work in the intermediate underneath range. And I think he could be a really productive player because I think, unlike a Hyatt, I think he has some route running nuance to him. I think he is shifty, very twitchy, really good athlete, and he has the height. Now, I don't think he's ever going to be a DK Metcalf 50-50 explosive ball winner. That's just not really who he is. But he can win with speed, he can win with nuance, can win with some twitch, athleticism. I think for a team like Seattle that needs more of that in the receiving core, because Kupp is not a great athlete at this stage of his career. JSN, good enough athlete, but he's not going to run a 4.3, 4.4. Chris Brazo does bring a little bit more of that element to this offense, a bit more of a weapon for this team. I don't know if he ever gets to 1,200, 1,300 receiving yards, but I think he'll be around 800, 900 for his career. Pair that up with JSN, Elijah Arroyo. I think it really opens up this passing attack. So I'm going to take Chris Brazo here.
Chris is another player who has played his stock into the first round really impressively this year.
Yes.
And all he has to do, Metro, like you mentioned, is have more than 200 yards, a.k.a. Cooper Kupp, and you're on your way to being the wide receiver 2 of this team. So awesome stuff right there. Love the pick. 25, we got the Cowboys. Metro's a Cowboys fan, but he's got to watch B. Ross make this pick. They took Arvell Reese with their first-round pick. They got 2 from the Micah trade. Yeah, B. Ross, who's going here off the board?
Well, if I want to sabotage the Cowboys, I'm taking a punter and just calling it a let's just end it all.
Hey, no complaints here. No complaints here. I'm cool with it.
I am not a Cowboys fan. So, no. Again, defense. They have to be able to stop the run. Like, we have to go defense here. Now, where do we go? Part of me is thinking interior. I do like Christian Miller. I think he's a good player. I do like Cade McDonald. And like this isn't a much of a stretch. I'll tell you guys something that you probably already know. It's 32 picks in the first round. There aren't 32 first round talents
Yeah.
usually. It's usually only 15 to 20, right? So everything after that is, to me, it's the start of the second. Everything after 20 is like he's probably a second, but I'm gonna take him at one because he's a little bit better at one thing or another than someone else. And that's the issue we're facing right now drafting this late. At 25, part of me wants to go interior D line. Another part of me wants to go corner. I'm Diggs. I don't know.
Gone.
Like he's
Gone.
he is just all over the place in terms of his availability, his play. Deron Bland, loved him coming out of Fresno. Think he's a good player. He just has to be more consistent. Then I'm thinking about safety. Is Malik Hooker coming back? He's coming off injuries. Donovan Wilson is kind of a one-stop shop kind of a guy. He's better playing in the box than he is back deep because he's not disciplined at all.
Yeah. Took the words out of my
but-
mouth. Took the words out of my mouth there. Watching Donovan Wilson is the most frustrating thing in coverage. When you ask him to play deep, he's got stones for feet, man. Ted McMillan, there's a rep in film where Ted is running a corner and he stems inside, goes back out. Donovan Wilson gets crossover like he's going up against Allen Iverson and gets stepped over by Ted. And Ted has the most open touchdown you ever seen in your life. It frustrates the hell out of me.
Listen, that's the nature of
The game.
of the game, but of his just skill set. He's never been good at coverage. Even at Texas A&M, he can get exposed when he has to cover deep. But I'm going to go D line, and I'm going to get some of these young guys in with Kenny Clark. He's a good veteran. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to be a pro. And Dallas is notorious for taking guys with character issues. Not saying that these dudes have them, but if anyone does take a guy with character issues, it'll be Dallas. So whatever stories come out on these D linemen, Dallas is going to take the one with the most issues. Let's just put that out there. But with that being said, I think it's a good fit because Kenny Clark is a good leader. He's a good pro. He's been in the room with knuckleheads in Green Bay. We were able to take chances on guys because we had a good room because of a pro in the name of Kenny Clark. So with that being said, I'm taking Kristen Miller from Georgia.
Yep.
He's not
Take
as
the car
big
keys
as
away.
Caden McDonald. Hey, you're Ubering. You're riding with me. Like this, I'm just saying, if anyone's going to take a guy with some issues, it's going to be the Cowboys. But with that being said, we have a plan. His name is Kenny Clark. Kenny, I need you to help this young guy out because if not, he's going to end up on ESPN News yet again, and we don't need that. But he's a good football player. He's a penetrating 3-tech style of a player, and he fits what they do in that 4-3 defense. And I think you pair him with a more stout run defender like Kenny, it creates problems up front that you don't have right now because they're terrible versus the run as well and creating any sort of a pass rush. So let's start interior, work our way out. But Kristen Miller's the pick right here.
What's funny about the character issues is we did a mock draft last year, and Walter Nolan was having some character concerns, and Cade was taking the pick. He's like, hey, Dallas loves taking character concerns, so we're going to go Walter Nolan here.
They're consistent.
They are.
They are very consistent. He's been taking
my
character
God.
issues since the 90s.
Yeah, if you're looking for character concerns, just take a Georgia defensive player. Take the keys away. Take the keys away.
Take the keys
Yo,
away
take
because
the keys
Dallas.
away.
Oh, dude, Dallas is city of DUIs. Take the keys away. Love the pick, man. You talk about learning to stop the run overnight. A great way to do it right there with Kristen Miller. 26, Buffalo Bills on the clock. Looking down the barrel real quick, we got the Bills, Broncos, Lions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Colts, Eagles, and Chiefs, assuming they win the whole thing. Bills on the clock. So is Metro. Metro, what's the pick?
They need help defensively. They are really bad against the run, and now I believe Ed Oliver's out for the season, so they're going to be even worse against the run. You do get Larry Ogunjobi back from suspension. You also are going to be getting Michael Hope back from suspension. That'll make them a lot better against the run because those guys are good enough against it. They've actually gotten decent productivity from Deion Walker, and they should be getting Daquan Jones back, so hopefully this defensive line can start to play better because I think this team needs help badly in the secondary. They have, in my opinion, the worst tackling safety duo in the NFL. Taylor Rapp, Jordan Poyer, Cole Bishop. Those guys cannot tackle to save their life. They are decent in coverage, but they are really bad in run support. And that is part of the reason why Buffalo's really struggled against the run this year, because the defensive line, that the edge rushers, Rousseau, Bosa, they don't set a great edge. Once that running back can get out to the edge, their corners are also not the biggest outside of Christian Benford. So if they can get to that second or third level, those safeties are 9 times out of 10 not making that tackle. So I need somebody who can. Unfortunately, Avion Terrell is the best corner here. He's very good in coverage, but you're not. I mean, he's a good willing tackler, but again, it's a size profile. It is hard to tackle NFL players when he's not 5'11, he's more like 5'10, a buck 80, buck 85, right? And when you're going to be tackling bigger, more physical guys in the NFL, like if you're going to go one-on-one, Bijan Robinson versus Avion Terrell, Bijan wins that 99 times out of 100. Derrick Henry, 100 out of 100. Like there's just, it's going to be very difficult for him to make it as in the NFL with that size. I'm tempted to go with A.J. Harris. This year, man.
That's their kind of guy.
Not a lot of reps this year. He has only been targeted 13 times, but giving up 11 receptions, I feel like he's just been floating around, making, when you watch the film, he's doing a fine job. And I think in, press man, I think he can be good enough there. And I think in zone, he's also capable. This is just one of those scenarios where I just don't know if I can do a first-round pick for him, especially because I like Keith Abney and Chris Johnson in round 2, and those guys give you a little bit more size than Terrell. So I'm in a tough spot here. I'm also looking at linebacker because Matt Milano injured every single year. But again, it's the philosophy of, can you hold up in that first level so your linebackers can run around? I'm going to take a bit of a curveball here. I'm going to take Anthony Hill. I'm going to show my Texas bias a little bit here. I think this dude has absolutely been dominant this year for Texas, especially as of late. He has been flying all across the field. And what I like about Anthony Hill, I think there's some underrated versatility for him to potentially play close to the line of scrimmage. And if this team, right now they run a 4-3, so I don't see him being an edge rusher for them. If this team were ever to get a new head coach, a new system, and run a 3-4, I think Anthony Hill could be an outside linebacker. Like, I think he is that type of athlete who has shown the ability to 100% get after the quarterback. But tackles for loss, this guy would be the size profile I think that Buffalo would like. I think he's also a good enough athlete. I don't think he's going to run a 4-4. Maybe he runs a 4-5. I don't even know if he runs a 4-5, to be honest with you. But big individual, 6'3", 238, runs well, moves well, good enough in coverage. But really what I'm looking for is a downhill physical presence that can stuff the run, and that's exactly what you're getting here in Anthony Hill, who I think is having a fantastic stretch of games as of late. So I'm going to take Anthony Hill, and I know B-Ross can speak to this because we talk about Texas all the time.
Yeah, no, I don't dislike this pick at all. Like, he is a Buffalo kind of guy. So when you were talking about the safeties, like knowing how they scout and how they draft, they go for instincts and intelligence first.
Yeah.
That's why if you look at their their first round picks, usually don't pan out there because they don't value the athleticism and they don't value it the same way other teams do. That's why they traded Kyer Elam. Kyer Elam's not a bad corner. He was stuck in a place that didn't like that. He was super talented and really and he's super smart too, but not to what they want. They really value, alignment, assignment, technique. And it's crazy Taylor Rapp struggles tackling because in college he missed 1 tackle in 4 years. Yeah. It was the most impressive thing I ever saw. But this is a good pick. You pair him with Bernard, and I think you have 2 young instinctive backers. Anthony Hill is the more physical presence, but they both, to me, their knack is getting the ball. Those guys have a knack for getting the ball, and I would love to see that, honestly. Now, I question if Anthony Hill can play in the cold.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. I don't think he wants to. I don't think he wants to.
Nobody wants to play in upstate New York in December.
I want Tampa calling me. Come on, Tampa. Let me go to Florida.
No state taxes, baby. Let's go.
That's the easiest trade destination ever.
He might pull Eli Manning here.
Hill goes off the board to the Buffalo Bills. Awesome statement piece for the culture of this team. 27, we have the Broncos. Broncos have a big-time playoff run here at 27, thus they're picking in the back of the first round. Yeah. Where are we going, B-Ross?
Where are we going? That is the question. They have a lot of holes. I would love to see them add a weapon for Bo Nix and Sean Payton because Sean Payton is a heck of a play caller who knows how to get the ball to his guys. Um, the issue is I don't know who I want to take. I think I can get him later.
Yeah.
Because the guys who are above him, I don't think are necessarily better. I think they're better athletes. I don't think they're better football players at the tight end position.
Yeah.
That being said, then I look at running backs. I don't like taking running backs in the first round unless they are really good, and that guy's already gone. So now I'm like, do we head over to defense and make this defense even better? Because this defense is loaded with talent, and it's a matter of them just honestly playing up to their ability. So you took my pick for them. I'm not gonna lie, because I was sending Anthony Hill to Denver, where it gets cold sometimes, but not all the time. Um, I feel some type of way because I feel like you did that on purpose.
My bad.
Um,
My bad. That's on me.
but it's cool.
Sonny
Treat me
Styles
like
would
the
be a great
redheaded.
pick.
Just hey, man, let me.
My
let
bad.
me-
My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad.
That's,
My bad.
no,
That's- I
I was
took your-
messing with you.
took your
I
thunder.
love Sonny Styles. Like he's long, he's athletic, he can run, he's physical at the point of attack. He knows how to use his hands well. I think this is a good fit for that defense, but my gut tells me go get a tight end. But then at the same time,
There's nobody though.
Sean Payton doesn't need a high pick at that position. So I think they go defense again, and I think they go Sonny Styles, and they go get another piece to that defense, and they just keep getting better and better because a quarterback's best friend is a good defense. Guys who can just keep getting him the ball over and over again with 3 and out and turnovers. And this linebacking core isn't playing well as of late. The last 3 to 4 games, they've been very inconsistent. I think you bring a dynamic athlete with size and speed to that roster, and he makes them better early.
6'5" inside linebacker is always a terrifying sight for the quarterback across the
Oh,
line
yeah.
of scrimmage. Love this pick at 27 to the Broncos. 28, we have the Detroit Lions. Metro, would you mind? Would you mind?
Go for it. It's all yours.
Really?
It's all
Really?
yours.
Would you do that for me?
Of course.
Oh, I love you,
I'm,
buddy.
I'm
You're
happy
so
too because I don't know what I would take here. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, I do.
I'm just gonna take one of my guys. Truly, okay. Let's look at this at afar. We can take another edge rusher here to help out Aiden Hutchinson. Very cool idea. I think Cassius Howell is super productive, and so is Romello Height, also great prospect. But my guy, I know we could definitely use personally. I think Keith Abney's awesome, and y'all may not agree. That's okay.
I like him.
We could use some more cornerback help, or at least throw another one in the rotation. The injuries
Yep.
are just piling up. Keith Abney is great on the outside. He is super instinctual. He is 2 steps ahead of the play. He clearly watches film when you see him play. He's pointing at guys in coverage, yelling at his other DBs, saying, "Get the hell over here. I know where the ball is going," and he almost always does. Keith Abney, good athlete, 20 years old. I like him a lot. I'm going to take him off the board right here to the Lions.
Good pick. That's
Thank
a really good pick. He is a Dan Campbell kind of guy. Like that's why like when you look at their drafts, they look kind of all over the place. They go after guys who fit what they want to do. That's
Yep.
it. And they have to fit internally and mindset and physically. And he is their kind of guy for sure.
Metro. I just got approval from an NFL scout.
Congrats, man. Hey,
I'm on the moon. I'm on the moon. 29.
sometimes
B. Ross.
Sometimes
saying?
even blind people can pick right. So, good job, Cade. You finally got one.
Thanks, man. You're not on the
Roll
clock
is
as you gave me
twice.
Yeah.
29. We have B. Ross on the clock with the Tampa Bay Bucks. We got 4 picks left in this mock. B. Ross, what are we thinking for 29?
Yeah, we're going to get some edge help.
Yes.
I mean, we've been all over the place in Tampa in terms of production from the edge group. They've been very sporadic. They got rid of their first round pick from a few years ago. He didn't pan out. So we're going to run it back and we're going to take Cassius Howell.
Great pick.
He's playing really good football right now. He fits what they do in that 3-4 scheme. I think Todd Bowles can help this guy even reach a new level because he's an excellent defensive play caller and designer. But I think Cassius Howell, some of his best football is still ahead of him, which is scary because he's a good football player. But I think being in that building with that coach can unlock new potential. So Cassius Howell.
Yeah, he's
Let's-
got a. Oh, sorry,
ahead.
Cade, my bad. He's got a lot of
No,
moves
go
to his skill set. He has a little bit shorter arms, which I do worry about in terms of being an edge. But as an outside linebacker, playing in that 2-point stance, being able to have that natural, space to create momentum, I think it makes a lot of sense for Cassius Howell there.
Howell's the kind of player that you look at, like you said, the length on the arms, and you go, question mark, how is he producing? But he just keeps freaking producing. So, and if he's doing that in the SEC, why are we going to doubt him? It's just kind of my POV. But it's real when you get to the NFL because those tackles have like 38-inch arms. Not actually, but pretty much 30. Colts on the clock have a huge Super Bowl run, almost make it to the show, and they're picking at 30, and it's Metro. Metro, what's the pick?
Colts are always a really tough team because they have a very specific type of drafting style in terms of
They do.
looking
They
for
really do.
athletes and things like that. I would love to get Avion Terrell off the board, but I don't know if he would fit the Colts. It's just Colts are very specific, and they don't really need anything on the offense. Maybe they could use some guard help, but I think they're fine, right? Quentin Nelson's a star. Matt's playing good at right guard. He's fine, right? I think the pass rush has really started to turn up a lot more. Latu is really developing into a really nice edge rusher. You're getting for productivity from DeForest Buckner, Ebicom, Kwity Paye. They're all doing their thing. I would love to go corner here. You took my guy Keith Abney, who I probably would have taken here to pair up next to Kenny Moore, but I just don't know what I'm going to take here. I think I might just
Trade out the first.
it's not a terrible idea, and unfortunately the linebackers too also flew off the board here. I mean I still like these guys too, and honestly I don't really hate them here at all because Zaire Franklin's not having the greatest of years, and maybe you look to upgrade that position. They definitely should go defense here. You added Cam Bynum. They also have Charvarius Ward, if I'm not mistaken, too, who is on IR right now. So I guess that also kind of checks out. And you got Jalen Jones on IR, too. And Justin Watley on IR. Damn, this is a really good football team. I'm at a blank here. I think I'm gonna trade out.
Who we
Who
trading
would
with?
trade up? It'd have to be a team that has a really early pick. So I'm looking.
Who's on
First
the
of all,
board? Quick question.
Who would want to trade up for who? I think
It's
maybe the
Terrell,
Terrell.
So-
Boston.
It wouldn't be for a corner.
Fair.
You don't think so?
If you trade back in the first round, you're going to get a playmaker, like somebody who's going to change your offense probably. Usually.
Okay. So
It's-
Boston,
and it's-
Concepcion, Burks.
It'll be one of those receivers. It'll be maybe a quarterback that no one's talking about. Like teams have unique just how they do things, but usually when teams trade back in the first round, it's quarterback, receiver, maybe like an explosive running back who's sitting there that no one touched because they don't need backs. It's usually just somebody like it's a high priority need for a team that didn't get what they wanted in the first round because better players were sitting there, but then a guy falls and it's just like, oh, like I want him. So it just depends. Like who's in the first 4 picks in the second round who needs like talent still.
Saints
of them.
trade up for what quarterback?
They can't go back-to-back years taking quarterbacks.
Why not?
Well, why not?
Who
they
are you trading up
missed.
for?
They missed.
Are we saying Sellers is out? I think we
Yeah,
obviously
so
are.
is out of this conversation. He's returning. There's no
Yeah.
shot he goes pro. Unless teams tell him he's going top 5, which this is just not going to happen.
No.
I'm not trading up for Nussmeier. I'm not
I'm
trading
not
up
trading
for
for none of
Mateer.
them dudes.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we can't do it.
But
I think
what
that
I'm looking
it's
at,
Denzel Boston, honestly. But
I'm looking at the receivers here: Boston, Concepcion.
Concepcion.
I even think Surratt could be in the conversation. And I look down
do
the
too.
board. The Titans badly need receiving help
They do.
because you
So
have
right.
you have 2
So
guys.
That would be a conversation because if it doesn't cost them too much
Yeah.
to just trade up 3 picks,
jump the Eagles.
Yeah, jump the Eagles,
who-
and the Chiefs
who-
who could go receiver too.
it's 2 exactly.
So
Team like that makes pick to go. It makes sense for that pick to be a team who needs that talent and then go get a guy for Cam Ward.
Yeah, because Calvin Ridley's probably not going to be on the team next year. You do have Alec Aomaner and Shamir Dike, who are young, developing players, but I don't know if they can be a 1.
You need a stud.
I don't know if Boston's a 1, but I think of these guys, he probably has the best chance of developing into a 1.
He
Because I'm actually So
We'll get into that in our next episode.
yeah, we'll get into it in a little bit, but
Yeah.
I will kind of spoil it here. I'm not the highest on Denzel Boston. I'm actually higher on a few other guys that are on the board here.
Then go with your
But
gut.
it is
I
a
am too.
conversation of, ooh, you know who's a really interesting name? Jeremy Bernard.
Yeah, hey, get out my head. I'm sitting here staring at the
Yeah.
name like
Because
that's who I would take.
yeah, I'm
And
thinking that
because
too.
I like him over a couple guys who already been drafted. Just
Yeah.
like to me, he's the most pro ready in terms of his skill set translating quicker than others.
I am in agreement here with you because then you have Shamir Dike, fairly athletic player. I think he's a 3 in the future. I think Elok Aomaner is your deep threat. Go ahead, Cade.
You got to make the trade
Ooh.
first. That's all I was gonna
You're right. You're 100% right. I'm glad you mentioned that because I definitely would not have made the trade.
say. Keep going. Just keep going. You were cooking.
Um,
Go ahead. You're talking about
Well,
the
really
lineup.
quickly, 33, 30. I don't think it would cost you much. Maybe 101. Aligned?
Is the 5th-year value worth that much? For I think like it could be worth more potentially, but I think 101's correct.
Yeah, I just you're
Tennessee
only moving
would
up
have to
3
give
spots.
up 101 and maybe 196. They have to give
Yeah.
something else up
That's good.
200. We'll do 200. What about that?
just
that
because
eighth
they
or
gonna hold
sixth?
them ransom a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you want a guy?
Yeah.
Come get
What
him.
you willing to pay?
All right, so I'm moving up. Look, I like Denzel Boston. I think he has a size profile that I'm looking for, and I think he's a good enough athlete, but he's just not there yet. I 100% agree with you guys. I think Jeremy Bernard.
I think he's so
I
freaking
put
good.
in my description of him. I won't go through the full thing, but I did say he gives me, he gives me some comparisons in terms of polish and play style of similar things with what we saw from Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka, in terms of
I can see that.
could play him in the slot, can play him on the outside, and it's just very polished. I don't know if he has the
Yep.
upside of Emeka, but in terms of just stepping in day one and instantly being a playmaker, I think Cam Ward would really benefit from somebody who he can rely on. So I love the pick there. I think that's very fun.
Another first-round trade. The Titans come up and get their wide receiver of the future, Jeremy Bernard, to instantly impact this wide receiver group. 31 Eagles on the clock. B. Ross, it's you. You're the chosen one. What are the Eagles taking?
They're going corner.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
don't have a
outside.
choice.
Yeah.
They are taking Avion Terrell, and
And
they
awesome
are
pick.
going corner because one, he's the most talented player probably left on the board, so you don't overthink it.
Which they don't do. They never do.
No, they just take talent.
Yep.
Two, they need the help because Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell are 2 good young corners, but you need 3 in this league all day, every day, and I think they want Cooper to play inside because he's physical, he's a good tackler, he can cover, but his strengths lie in the fact that he's a ideal nickel in the NFL nowadays due to his size, length, and his ability to cover. So you put a cover guy on the outside opposite of Quinyon, and you roll those 3 out, and you deal with the bumps and bruises. Because he will have some just due to his lack of size and strength at the top of routes, but overall he has a lot more upside in opposed to going to free agency and grabbing a guy to just plug and play how they try to do with Adoree Jackson. So
Yes. And
Avion Terrell right here.
the Killy Ringo experiment hasn't worked out. Jacorian Bennett.
He was never good. Oh God, please
No,
don't start.
no, I agree, 100%. But
Never
yeah, I
mind.
think adding a Avion Terrell makes sense. All right, I bet 32. Cade, you've been our great host. I'll let you pick this last one for the Chiefs.
Ooh.
Put me on
Mainly
the
because
spot
I
like
don't want
that?
to. I don't know what to take.
Fair. I can cook. Scroll down the board just a little bit so I can see what all's there. No
Sorry,
quarterback.
my fault. You could you could
No,
go.
it's okay.
Yeah.
You're just dangling the carrot in front of my face.
Connor Lewis going pro, by the way, or going back to college. Pretty sure.
It's like good comms, Metro. He's going pro. I'm gonna go.
Oh, damn.
I do too. Scroll
Interesting
back to the
pick.
top. I'm gonna cherry pick. I saw somebody I liked. I think I'm gonna go
Yeah,
Romello.
right.
Romello moves extremely well on the edge. I haven't seen his full tape, but from the glimpses I have seen, he's a damn force, man. He is quick. He is the nastiest
pick.
spin move ever. I saw him put
Good
on a
pick.
tackle the other weekend. I love Romello. He's got the bag when he's pass rushing, and he's an athlete as well. Check, third down mercenary, bring him in. This just shows Texas Tech edge rushers, man. You got money, anybody will play for you. Let's take Romello right here.
You got that oil money.
No question. Guys, I might have been a little bit quiet today, but you're about to get real sick of my voice. Let's go through this entire first round pick by pick real quick. First overall, we got Reuben Bain Jr. going to the Titans. Second, the Jets take Ty Simpson, the quarterback of the future. Third, Saints grab Peter Woods, the defensive interior lineman. Fourth, Browns get their guy, Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback. Fifth, we got a trade. The Raiders trade up from 7 to 5 to get Dante Moore, their quarterback, the 20-year-old stud out of Oregon. Sixth, we got the Giants taking Caleb Downs. Don't overthink it. Great player. 7, the wide receiver, Jordan Tyson, goes to the Dolphins. 8, the Cardinals take Spencer Fano, the tackle. 9, Bengals go Keldrick Falk, the edge. 10, the Commanders go Mansour Delane, the cornerback at LSU. 11, Panthers grab, we got Makai Lemon, the wide receiver out of USC. 12, Cowboys go Arvell Reese, the linebacker at Ohio State. 13, the Rams get their QB of the future, Sam Levitt out of Arizona State. 14, the Browns get their tackle, Francis Maigoa. Am I saying that correct, Mr. Metro?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to Metro, approved. 15, we got the Texans bypassing O-line because we'll find that in the second and third round as usual. We take Jeremiah Love, the running back. 16, Vikings grab Jermon McCoy, the cornerback out of Tennessee. 17, Bears get Caleb Banks, the defensive interior. 18, we got the Chargers trading up to take TJ Parker, the edge. 19, the Steelers grab Carnell Tate, the wide receiver. 20, the 49ers get Caden Proctor, the tackle to be guard in the NFL out of Alabama. 21, the Baltimore Ravens get David Bailey, the edge rusher out of Texas Tech. 22, the Rams get Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end. 23, Patriots grab Colton Hood, the cornerback out of Tennessee. 24, Seahawks grab Chris Brazel, the wide receiver out of Tennessee, back-to-back Volunteers. 25, the Cowboys with their second first-round pick from the Micah Parsons trade get Kristen Miller, the interior Georgia defensive lineman. 26, the Buffalo Bills get Anthony Hill Jr., Hook'em Baby, the linebacker. 27, we got the Broncos going Sonny Styles, the linebacker out of Ohio State. 28, the Lions get Keith Abney the second, the cornerback out of Arizona State. 29, Bucks get Cassius Howell, the edge out of Texas A&M. 30, the Titans trade back into the first round to get their wide receiver one in Jeremy Bernard out of Alabama. 31, the Eagles get Avion Terrell, letting that talent fall to them per usual, the cornerback out of Clemson, and then wrap the bow on it. 32, Chiefs get Romello Height, the edge out of Texas Tech. Guys, what did you think about our draft? Drop it in the comments below. We want to hear your favorite prospects and your favorite pick of this mock. Drop it in the comments down below. If you watch this far, drop a like. And if you want to join us for the journey, we're on our way to 1K. We only get there with you. We're about to kiss 600, I believe, but we're almost to 1K. Go sub down below to join us. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. B. Ross, for being on today's episode. It was an absolute blast. Thank you guys for watching. Have the best day. Love y'all. Metro, per usual, say goodbye to the people.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hit that like and subscribe button. Peace out.